Within just a few days, we have had two boxing films released on the same streaming platform. It would be an understatement if I said that I was hyped when I saw the trailer of Sarpata Parambarai starring Arya, directed by Ranjit. The journey of Arya has been an interesting one, a career spanning 16 years. The individual has had an oscillating journey, from exceptional success in the mid-2000s to being muddled in the last decade or so in lackluster storylines. This has divided the audience into two subgroups, especially the Tamil audience that is privy to his work and journey. One believing that he is limited in his range and has been fortunate to be a part of impressive scripts in his initial stage, and the second believing that the man assimilates perfectly in different worlds and is actually underutilized with respect to his capability, and has been unlucky in the last few years, mainly alluding to his choice of mediocre scripts. I have to say, irrespective of the information that we have of his journey, his dedication to the world created by Ranjit is undeniable. Sarpata Parambarai is primarily set during the 1980s in Northern Chennai, laying specific focus on the boxing culture in that locality. A group that have inherited the training that they have imbibed from the Britishers were belonging to one clan, but got divided into different camps that face one another in grand events, each wanting ultimate supremacy, living up to the boxing legacy of their ancestors. The two clans, Idiyappa and Sarpata, clashed with one another, leading to a quest to find a worthy opponent to the unstoppable force of Wembley. This transitions to the ultimate discovery of the potential of Arya's character, Kabila, and his determination to be the best and fight for his court. The class politics, the atmosphere of Northern Chennai, the hurdles the individual, clan and state faces, and the ultimate battle after his rise from the trenches forms the crux of the film's storyline. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it on Amazon Prime Video or not. The underwhelming aspects. Some topics I want to brush upon. Okay, so these are just going to be cautionary tales so that you guys are ready for what you are signing up for. First of all, the movie is 2 hours and 53 minutes long. So be ready to get your popcorn and snacks and actually take the time out in your day for this special screening. Assume it to be a day out when we used to go to movie theaters. This is not one of those films that you casually watch and then let go off in the middle only to revisit it later. Also, while it might be intimidating that the film is close to 3 hours long, the volume of topics that it actually covers, and successfully so, it totally justifies the running time. Secondly, I don't know about all of you, but I think that the expressive and constantly on the edge and shouting mother in Tamil cinema has become such a regular feature that I can almost predict the beats of the conversations they will have of who they consider to be deadbeat sons. Anupama Kumar puts forth an expressive performance, but for me it became an extension of the emotional, volatile and on the edge mother of Tamil cinema that we have seen so many times. Her annoyance is justified, but so is the case of the several other mothers in different worlds. Thirdly, there is an integration of the political influence in the world created by Ranjit that comes in ebbs and flows. Many may consider the political impact to be convenient from a screenplay perspective, as it tends to act as a gateway for shocking turn of events. The impact of the emergency and the political landscape of Tamil Nadu is very well executed, but utilized mostly at the most crucial events, almost as a crutch sometimes to move the story forward. Finally, you will notice a shift of the editing in the film as the storyline follows Kabila and Vetri Silvan in their past that is completely deviated from the boxing world. This works exceptionally well for us to progress what will eventually be the road to redemption, but I'm telling you this so that the shift of tonality doesn't come across as jarring to you. The good. Santosh Narayanan does it again. You know, whenever people think of Santosh Narayanan's roles in films as a music composer, it almost becomes an extension of the film's identity. What is brilliant about the execution of the background score and music in this film is that it is not unnecessarily omnipresent. If you remember Jagme Tandiram, Santosh Narayanan, despite the beautiful execution of the background score, was present almost in every act and vital moment. However, his work in Sarpata is dispersed beautifully, transitioning into the storyline at the perfect time. Whether it be when a boxing match is reaching its penultimate stage or a character feels cornered both physically or metaphorically, the music comes in and out, enhancing the impact of the scenes while not coming across as what defines it. I absolutely love the score that was present in the trailer, integrating the famous words of Muhammad Ali, and it is beautifully edited into the film, fitting perfectly with the theme of Kabila and his path to resurgence. Set, art direction and cinematography. What is exceptional about Sarpata is the world that has been created. I almost marveled at every frame, feeling invested as if I was transported to the 70s and 80s in Northern Chennai. The hustle and bustle of that city and thriving boxing culture is something that was so exquisitely executed, especially from a visual standpoint. The set and art direction really stands out. The expansive shots of the city, which is the world of the characters, and the massive events organized, having their own fan base like pay-per-view UFC events, is a sight to marvel at. The cinematography by Murli G soars to become one of the biggest highlights of the film. This is not only in reference to the visual representation of the dwellings in which characters live and train, but with respect to the way the boxing matches have been showcased as well. I haven't been this invested in an Indian sports film in a long time, and beyond the exceptional storytelling, what was required was a beautiful stimuli to our eyes, executed with brilliant dexterity by the cinematographer. And I have to say, what takes it to the next level is actually the editing by R.K. Selva, with specific focus to the boxing matches, because I had no idea what the end result of most matches was, so I was exceptionally invested, just like I had signed up for a pay-per-view event. Boxing culture and representation. One of the main reasons why I believe this film soars to become a memorable one is because of the way the characters have been introduced, making you privy to almost everyone, where they stand in the roster, and what are their strengths and weaknesses as a fighter, and finally what are their character traits. It almost felt like going through the character selection in Street Fighter, where each person has their own stats. The portrayal of these characters seemed like an extension of the Attitude Era of WWF. Characters coming in with their managers, having their own nicknames and niche fan following. The concept of showboating, trash talking, sponsors that need to sell an event, the promotional side of organizing events, and who guarantees large crowds to come in, camps and the ideals that each one represents. It beautifully showcases what goes beyond just stepping into the ring. This might get too UFC specific, but each character is like a person from a weight division, and they climb the ladder, only having the opportunity to fight for the title if they knock out fighters present above them in the roster. This is why this film soars way above the last release Tufan, because you're not only invested in the journey of the protagonist, but you are also privy to the motivation and character traits of several other opponents, as well as allies, while also having a clear insight of the history of the locality and the several dangers that lie ahead. Social context and performances. Ranjit has to be lauded for the world created. I think this film is miles ahead and superior in terms of storytelling compared to his two movie ventures with Rajnikant. What was also beautifully explained by the director was that the film has a specific focus on the class divide that existed in Northern Chennai, opening the sport only to a specific set of people depending on where they stand economically in society. This stands out as one of the biggest hurdles for Kabila to prove himself in a world where he is not welcomed and is only showered with animosity and bitterness. The performances of this film are so memorable that there are so many moments that stick with me. I have to say that Dusara, who plays the role of Kabila's wife in the film, Mariam, is such a firecracker of a performer. A character that is emotional, absolutely invested in her husband's life, and is a ride or die. She has some of the most hilarious sequences, especially when Kabila is at the worst stage in his life. I will be honest that I burst out laughing when she uncontrollably gets her dancing jig on when both share a room together privately. Her annoyance with her husband and frustration with the world around her is exceptionally communicated. The supporting characters also add such an interesting texture to this film. From the eccentric dancing Rose to the expressive yet determined Daddy, or the easily swayed Vetri Sylvan, whose journey almost reminded me of Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. All of these characters add a much needed personality to this film and the period in which it is set. The conviction and dedication of Arya as Kabila is commendable. As I said previously, many people are torn about Arya the actor, but I don't think anyone will deny that the sincerity of his performance could be felt in Sarpata. His loyalty to his coach, his helplessness with his mother, the time spent for a sport that requires your time and focus, the juxtaposition of being this calm and sincere man while towering physically over most people actually made me think that this is a brilliant casting. A lot of Tamil cinema fans were saying that Arya should really savor this moment because they come few and far between, and it stands out as probably one of his best roles in the last 7 or 8 years. You might wonder that this is Arya's film, right? I mean, the canvas is all but set for him. But in my honest opinion, Pasupati as Ranga, the coach of the Sarpata clan, stood out as one of the best performers. His love for the sport, his rigidity in terms of the work required, his love for his fighters, and annoyance when individuals cross the line and affect the sanctity of the sport, the man just exudes confidence and a presence in front of camera that makes you invested in this storyline. This is a film that is totally worth the time that you will invest. This is a sports film that goes beyond the generic redemption arc storyline, as it provides not only a commentary on the social and political landscape of the 70s and 80s, but makes you feel invested of the several unique characters and motivations in this world. Don't miss this one. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.